keywords, constants, yes, identifiers. Now let's come to the fourth type of token, which is the string literals. So string literals are nothing but string constants. Okay, literals means constants. So you can use these words interchangeably. Literals or constants are the same thing. We have already covered constants, and in constants we saw the two broad categories: numeric constants, where we discussed about integer constants and real or floating constants. Then the second category was string constant, where we discussed about single character string constant and string of characters constant. Yes, so that string of characters constant is string literals, nothing else. Okay, it is the same thing. So in string literals, it can be any string. Okay, it can be any sequence of characters, but enclosed in double quotes. That you have to remember. Characters, if you want to represent a character constant, they must be represented using single quotes, and strings must be represented using double quotes. Okay, when you are representing string constants or literals. Okay, number 4 is operators, and number 6 is separators. So operators is it's a wide topic that we will be discussing in the next section. Okay, one student has complained that he can't see the rest. Can you view the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
I think Bigratam, you have some network issues in your end. The rest can see.
यस मैम अभी आ गया मैम
ठीक है, okay.
आइले आइले आइले
Okay, fine. So next is okay. Operators is a wide topic that we will be covering in the next section. So just before that, I would like to discuss about separators. So separators are nothing but like the commas, okay, colons, semicolons, fine, inverted commas. These are separators. Okay, okay, okay. Now let's concentrate on operators only. First, we will discuss all the operators one by one. Okay, so you have used operators in maths. Yes, you have used many operators, like especially arithmetic operators you have used. So in C language, okay, we will go through 6 different types of operators, namely the arithmetic operators. Then we have the relational operators. These are very important. Okay, these are very important. So I want all of you to pay attention as I discuss. Third is logical operators, bitwise operators, assignment operators, and finally we have miscellaneous operators. So in miscellaneous operators, we have some miscellaneous type of operators that we will be covering in this category. Okay, okay. So starting with the arithmetic operators, you see it's beautifully explained here. So we have a table inside which we have the list of arithmetic operators. Alongside we have the description of the operators and then some examples, okay, for each operator. So here just understand the first statement. The following table shows all the arithmetic operators supported by the C language. Okay, assume variable A holds 10 and variable B holds 20. So here we will look at each operator with the help of some examples. Okay, as you can see in the example column, one example has been given for each operator, and since A and B, we will be taking two variables for all the operators. Okay, we will be taking A and B, and we have assumed A to have a value of 10 and B to have a value of 20. Okay, so considering these values, we will be performing the operations now, and we will be checking for the results. So starting with the first addition operator or the sum operator, so it is used to add two numbers, so you know all this. Now if you add A and B, so what is A? 10, and if you add B, that is 20. So 10 plus 20 is 30. So this is what the addition operator does. Next we have the subtraction operator, okay, which will subtract the second operator from the first operator. Okay, so second is subtracted from the first. You have learned all this in class 1. So here A was taken to be 10. Okay, just remember these values. Let me just highlight it so that you don't forget which numbers I'm referring to. Okay, okay. See, A is 10, B is 20. Please keep that in mind. So 10 minus 20. Okay, so yeah, actually this is not, this should be 10. Okay, this should be 10. Why? Because you are subtracting 20 from 10. Huh? So when you write, so the first number is what? The first number is 10 minus, oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. 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 So 10 minus 20 is, since 20 is bigger, so it will have a negative sign. So minus 10. Okay. Okay. So 10 minus 20 gives us minus 10. Fine. Next we have, so you have to be careful about the signs also. Okay. If you are subtracting a bigger number from a smaller number, so it is just similar to what you did in mathematics. Yes. So it is the same thing, because if we are making use of integers here, okay, so it can be a positive integer also, it can be a negative integer also. So if you make this 20 minus 20, suppose this 20 is minus 20 now, so what will be the case? Okay, say if you now subtract 10, okay, 20 minus 20 from 20, what will you get if you subtract this like this? Yes, what will you get? 20. So minus minus becomes plus, so 10 plus 20 becomes 30. Okay, so if b is minus 20, then your subtraction will be, okay, your difference will be 30. Okay, so it is the same thing as you have done earlier in maths, right? Okay, next we come to multiplication. So this, you know, 10 into 20 is 200. Yes, correct. Division. So what does division do? It divides the numerator by the denominator, means numerator by the denominator means numerator by denominator. Okay, or you can use the two other words. Numerator is the divisor, sorry, dividend. Yes, dividend, and denominator means denominator, so denominator is the divisor. Yes, so we divide the dividend or the numerator by the denominator or the divisor, and what do we get? The quotient. The quotient is always the result of any division. Yes, so here we will get the quotient. So what are we dividing? We are dividing a bigger number by a smaller number. Okay, so we are dividing, because see, if you divide 10 by 20, okay, if you divide a by b, if you do that, you will get a decimal number. So here we are only concentrating on integers, okay, only on integer numbers. So that is why I have taken the bigger number as the dividend and the smaller to be the divisor. Okay, I will divide b by a. So if you divide b by a, what do you get? A 2. Okay, it is just simple as that. Next, here we have 3 additional arithmetic operators that you have not got in maths. First is the modulus operator. Okay, the modulus operator, this is very important. Many students get confused with the confused between the division operator and the modulus operator. Division returns us the quotient as the result. Okay, while the modulus returns us the, just hold. So we were in modulus operator. You see, modulus operator is different from the division operator in that the division, what do we get as a result? After a division, we get the quotient. Okay, we will get the quotient as the result. Modulus always returns the remainder of the division. Okay, so whenever you are asked to perform the modulus operation between two numbers, always remember that we are not talking about the division result for the division, but we are talking about the modulus operator. Is it fine? So here you see modulus operator returns the remainder of, you know, after an integer division. Okay, so here b, so if b is 20, we consider b to be 20 and a to be 10. So if you divide 20 by 10, what will be your result? Your result will be 2, because 10 2s are 20. Yes, so this is your quotient. Okay, we have to perform only one division, so this will be your quotient. Okay, but here we are talking about the remainder. So what is our remainder? Since it is fully divisible, we are left with only 0 as the remainder. Therefore our answer for this will be 0. Okay, okay, so here we will have 0 as the answer. Is it clear? Modulus operator.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Next, you see we have two more operators which we call the increment and decrement operator. Huh? Increment will increase the value, decrement will decrease the value. Okay, so what does the increment and decrement operators do? Increasing the value means increasing a value by 1. Okay, so if I write plus plus, so this is actually a unary operator because it makes use of only one operand a. Okay, so we write it this way, a plus plus. So what is a plus plus? So if you evaluate this statement, okay, if you evaluate this statement, a plus plus means a equal to a plus 1. So this is what a plus plus means. Okay, a plus plus means a plus 1. Is that fine? So that means whatever number you have for a, that number will be increased by or incremented by 1. So if you had a to be 10, therefore your value for a will be now 11. Okay. Next, decrement. See, regarding increment and decrement operators, we have two types of increment operators and two types of decrement operators. Okay, that we will discuss tomorrow in tomorrow's class. Fine. We have two types. One is post increment and pre increment. There, I will have to explain to you in details. But both does the same thing: post increment and pre increment. Okay, so ultimately we are performing increment operation only. We are incrementing the value of a number by 1, but the process of incrementing the value by 1 is different for both cases. Okay, the process is different. Okay, the process is different. For post increment we will increment later, for pre increment we will increment first. So here the processes are different, but ultimately we are getting the same result out of both. Okay, and it does the same work. So here you simply remember that increment means we are incrementing the value by 1. So here we write the statement as this, a plus plus. So what is a plus plus? A plus plus means a equal to a plus 1. That means you have added the value of existing value by 1. It has increased by 1. That is all. Again, next we have decrement. So decrement will decrease the value. It is just the opposite of increment. So here we will be decreasing the value by 1. Okay, so given any value, say a minus minus, we had a minus minus. So if you want to decrement, perform decrement operation here, so a minus minus means a equal to a minus 1. Okay, so a equal to a minus 1. So what is a? A was taken to be 10. So 10 minus 1 is what? 9. Therefore, we have the result as 9. Is that clear? Just like increment operation, we also have two types of decrement operation. One is the post decrement, one is the pre decrement. But just like increment, here also we do the same thing. Ultimately, we are subtracting 1. Okay, we are decreasing 1 from the given value. It is doing the same thing. Both the operators, both the different types of decrement operators will do the same thing, but just the procedure of their working is different. Okay, procedure is different. So we will discuss both in details tomorrow's class. Okay, today I am just mainly concentrating on all the operators. Fine. Are these
Okay,
three
ma'am.
are these three clear? Modulus, increment and decrement.
Yes, ma'am.
The rest please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, fine. Please remember, okay, as we go through it. Next we have relational operator. Now please remember that relational operator returns us true or a false value. Okay, so relational operator will return as a true value or a false value, or instead of true it can return 1, and instead of false it can return 0. So it will either return true or false, or it will return 1 or 0. Okay, remember this. It might be asked for MCQs also. Okay, how many values can a relational operator return? So not relational operator, relational expressions. So whichever expressions use relational operators, they are relational expressions, and whichever operators, okay, whichever expressions make use of arithmetic operators, they are called arithmetic expressions. So here we discussed about arithmetic expressions. Okay, so here we have made use of the arithmetic operators in the expressions, so therefore we have arithmetic expressions. Now we will look at relational operators. Relational operators in expressions. So remember that if asked that how many results can you get from relational expressions. You get only two results. Either you will get a 1 or true, or you will get false or 0. Okay, you will get either of the two, so maximum you can have only two results. Now you see how what are the different types of relational operators. So basically all the comparison operators that you have been using till now, okay, in maths, in whatever, in whatever area, whatever comparison operators we are using. What are comparison operators? When we compare, okay, when we do comparison, that is equal, greater than, less than, you know, greater than equal, less than equal, not equal. So these are all comparison operators. So comparison operators are only relational operators. It is the same thing. Okay, equal to, not equal to, greater than equal to, less than equal to. So all these 6 types of comparison operators are the relational operators in C language. Fine. However, we represent it in a bit different way. Rest are all same. Okay, if you see, greater than sign is the same, less than is the same, greater than equal is same, less than equal is same. Okay, only the difference is in equal and not equal. See, equal, for equal we use two equal signs. Okay, so if you are using the relational operator equal, you have to use two equal signs. Is that fine? Because here in C, we have a different meaning for a single equal operator. If you use only the equal operator, that has got a different meaning in C. So if you are to compare two values and check that the values are equal or not, to check the equality, okay, you have to make use of two equal operators. And if you want to check for the non-equality, then you have to first use an exclamation mark followed by the equal operator. In maths, what do? We just write the equal sign and we just cut it off, right? We just cut it off. So here there is no option for cutting any, cutting off any operator. So therefore what we do is we just make use of this exclamation mark followed by the equal sign. Okay, so this is not equal to and this is equal to. You read it as equal to only. You don't read it as equal to equal to. This is equal to only, but while writing you have to remember that we will be making use of two equal signs. Okay, so the rest is all same. The meaning is same. So it checks if two values or two operands are equal or not. Two operands means the values, okay, the values on which you will be performing this operation. So you have to be very much very much careful about the words. Okay, these are all operators. Okay, these are all operators which will be performing some operations. And on what do you perform operations? We perform operations on some values, and those values are called the operands. Okay, those are called the operands. So do not get confused with the terms. Okay, we have operators to perform some operations on some values, and those values are called the operands. So we will be performing operations on operands, and the expression, the statement that we will be writing, okay, the statement that will consist of the operands and in between the operator, that entire statement is called an expression. Okay, since here we are making use of relational operators, so therefore we will have relational expressions. When you will be using arithmetic operators, you will be making use of arithmetic expressions. Okay, so here in this example we will look at the equality operator. Here you see I am trying to compare the values of A and B. Okay, so A is 10 if you remember, and B was 20. So now you are to check if A is equal to B. So this is how we write it. Okay, A equal to B with two equal signs. Now this will compare between the values. Since 10 is not equal to 20, yes, so what will it return? It will return a false. Is not true means it will return a false. Okay, so it will simply return a false or a 0. Fine. And here this is the operator that we are using, equality operator. These are the operands. A and B are the operands because we are performing the equality comparison on the values of A and B. So A and B are the operands, equal is the operator, and this entire statement is the relational expression. Fine. Okay. Next, what do we have? Not equal to. So for not equal to, it is the same thing. We write it the same way. We will place one operand towards the left and the other operand towards the right, and then we will compare. We will check if the values are not equal. So here we are checking if the values are not equal. Is true, is 10 not equal to 20? Yes, 10 is not equal to 20. So since this expression is true, therefore we will have a true value. Okay, either it will return a true or 1. You have to check the operator that is being used. We have to check whether A is not equal to B. Of course, here A is not equal to B. 10 is not equal to 20. So it will return true. Next, we have greater than. For greater than, you see, is A greater than B? It is the same thing. 10 is not greater than B. It is false. Yes, 10 is not greater than B. This is false, so it will return false. Next, less than. Is 10 less than B? Yes, true. It will return a true. Greater than, equal to. So is 10 greater than or equal to B? No. 10 is neither greater than B nor it is equal to B because B is 20. So therefore this will return a false. Next, here less than or equal means either of the two. So 10 is less than equal to 20. Just let me write it down here. Okay, let me just write it here. 10 less than equal to 20. Okay, so this is the relational expression. So 10 is less than 20, but 10 is not equal to 20. But however, since one condition is true, 10 is less than 20, so therefore it will return a true. Because you have been asked whether it is less than 20 or equal to 20. At least one of the operation must be correct. One of the condition must be correct. Okay, so then since less than condition is true, therefore this will return a true. And therefore you have a true value for this expression. Is it clear till here, relational operations? It is easy. Whatever you did earlier, it is the same thing. It's just that we represent it. We represent the equal sign and not equal sign quite differently. That's all. Is it clear till here, everyone? Arithmetic operators and relational operators. Please acknowledge so that we can move forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody has any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Anyone? Tarifa, Soleiman, Shayan, Rinki, Priyanka. The girls never say.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No doubt.
Ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay. See, এতিয়া যদি ডাউট থাকে পিছলৈ কিন্তু গৈ প্ৰবলেম হ'ব ঠিক আছে হেকাৰণে ইতিয়াই যেতিয়া when I'm conducting the class go on clearing out your doubts if any. Okay, ঠিক আছে এটুত বৰ ডাউট থাকিবলৈ কোনো কথা নাইও. Okay, next we talk about logical operators. Okay, next we talk about logical operators. See, the following table shows you have not used logical operators. Okay, we have not used logical operators till now. So this is a new type of an operator. Here we will check for logical relations. Okay, so this is also, you know, this is also a kind of, you know, it is also similar to relational operator in that the results are same. Okay, so just like relational operations return 0 or 1 or true or false, so logical operations also return 0, 1 or true, false. Okay, so but here, like, you know, unlike relational operators which are used for comparison, here we are not performing comparison. Here we will perform multiplication, addition and not. Okay, there are three types of relational operators: multiplication, addition and not operation. And what this does, let us check one by one. So what happens is, first you have to understand why we make use of logical operators. You see, ultimately we are talking about machine. So yes, we will be programming the machine. Yes, so whenever you write any number, okay, So talking about the machine language, you write a number using any high level language. Say you have written 50 or you have written 20. So ultimately it is going to be converted to machine language, which is the binary language. That means in zeros and ones. So any number you write to perform any addition, that number ultimately will be converted to binary. Okay, that will be converted to binary numbers. Now what happens is when we are to perform logical, okay, logical multiplication, logical addition, or logical not, okay, on every bit of the number, then we make use of the logical operator. So let me just explain it to you this way. There is actually a chart for performing logical operations. I'll show it here. Okay, you see there's a table actually, moi yate dekhai disu aru. You have to simply remember the table. See, first you go understand the table. You have to suppose you have two operands. Okay, one is, say you have P and you have Q. Okay, these are the two operands. When I get a variables over here, you will be storing some values, and accordingly you have to find the result. So when you will be performing P and Q, okay, now we will check the values for this. Fine. So suppose I have 1, because I'm talking about binary level numbers, so here we will be only talking about zeros and ones. Okay, we will check at bit level. At bit level, how we perform multiplication, logical multiplication and logical addition, that we will check here at bit level. Okay, so now you see bit level means either in terms of zeros or in terms of 1. Suppose I have taken two variables P and Q. So P and Q are simply variables, just like as in here A and B. Okay, so first I have taken P and Q to be the two variables. Suppose P is 1 and Q is 0. Q is, okay, starting from the first. Suppose P is 0 and Q is also 0. Okay, suppose both are 0 0, then 0 and 0 will give us 0. Okay, next, suppose P is 0 but Q is 1, then what will we have? We are multiplying. Remember, AND operation means multiplication. Okay, AND operation means logical multiplication. Logical multiplication means we are multiplying the bits. Okay, we are simply multiplying the bits. We are not multiplying the entire number altogether like arithmetic multiplication. No, it is not like the arithmetic multiplication. Here we are performing multiplication in bit level in terms of zeros and ones. So just whatever multiplication does is the same thing. Okay, so 0 into 0, 0 into any number is 0, that we all know. So whenever any of the operand, okay, any of the operand is 0, the answer will be 0. Doesn't matter what the second operand is. So 0 into 0 is 0, 0 into 1 is also 0. Okay, so this will also be a 0. Fine. Next, suppose my P is 1 and Q is 0. So again it is the same thing. P is 1 but Q is 0. So 1 into 0 is what? It is again 0. So we have a 0 here. Okay. Next we have 1 into. So we have checked for all possible values of P and Q. Okay. So if both P and Q are 1, so then we will have 1 into 1 is what? It is 1 only. So we have a 1 here. So this is the table for the logical AND operation. Okay. AND means multiplication. And we represent the AND symbol using two ampersand symbols. Okay. Okay. Like this. Okay, this is how we represent the logical AND operator. This is what we write for the operator, and this is the table. You have to remember this only. Okay, and you don't need to remember this because it's obvious. If you multiply 0 by any number, it will always be 0. Okay, so in the upper three cases, what do we have? We have all zeros. Only if both the values are true or 1, then your output will also be 1. Okay, now we will check this for A and B. We will understand this if we are given any number. So first we'll check for A. Suppose so A is 10, B is 20. So let me take A to be 5. I'm taking smaller numbers, huh? And I'm just taking smaller numbers, and let this be say 10. Okay, let us check. Okay, first we will represent A in terms of, I said what? Here we are not performing arithmetic multiplication. So had it been arithmetic multiplication, what would I have done? I would have simply multiplied 5 by 50. Sorry, 5 by 10, and my result would have been 50. Yes, here I am talking about bit level. I am talking about logical operators. Okay, so here we will simply be performing